Hey folks, it's Finn. It's been a while since I made an update video, so today I wanted to do that because it's now been just over 2 months since Mum died, and I wanted to talk about the early stages of grief, what it's been like, how I've been, what I've been doing to cope, where I am now, and what's coming next. For regular followers of my channel, you will have seen my Friday FinnStalment series. For anybody that's not familiar with this or is new here, I record random bits daily, and then on a Friday I upload from the week. So it's like daily vlogs in week form. So weekly vlogs. Since Mum died, I haven't been able to make videos, but what I have done is I've carried on just recording random bits, but I've not uploaded it. So it's only now, over the last few weeks, that I've actually been uploading this footage. So we're quite behind with those. So in this video today, it gives me the opportunity to tell you up to date and current how I am and what's going on. So let's start a bit from the beginning. So when Mum died, understandably, it hit me hard. And it's hit me harder than I thought it would, to be honest. Initially, I couldn't cry, and I think a lot of that, was down to the fact that I was on sertraline. And for quite some time, I have had an issue with not being able to cry on sertraline. So I made the decision to stop my medication. Don't do that. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, that wasn't the wisest decision. I stand by it because I needed to cry, and I think if I hadn't done that, if I had waited and come off the sertraline in a couple of months, I think that would have actually made the grieving worse. To have had it on pause for that long wouldn't have been good for me. But with the benefit of hindsight, I probably should have weaned myself onto a different medication at the same time as coming off it, rather than going cold turkey like I did. My mental health spiralled badly. Now, I think this would have happened regardless of coming off the sertraline or not. I didn't realise just how much the grief was going to bring up, and I hadn't really taken into account the fact that my existing mental health problems were going to make the grieving process that much worse. Now, I think I'd reached a place with my mental health where I was feeling quite good and quite managed. And often when you have mental health problems, it can be easy when things are just ticking along nicely to kind of feel like they don't exist, these mental health problems. But then something goes wrong and you remember. Grief has just made everything worse. It's brought up all manner of stuff. It's brought up lots of the old personality disorder traits. It's increased my anxiety, my depression. It's brought up stuff from the past. I had underestimated the impact. I'd kind of tried to account for the grieving, but forgotten to include the past and the fact that I have mental health problems already apparent existing in my life. It was a pretty scary time for myself and for my poor new partner Chris, who has only ever seen me well. I had lots of impulsive behaviours coming back. I've had lots of urges to self-harm. I haven't acted on them. It's kind of a bit of a woolly one, this, because I have scratched a bit, but most of that has been impulsively or subconsciously or in my sleep when I didn't realise. And that's actually quite scary for me because I have such a hold of myself. I have such deep awareness of myself, about what works for me, for my mental health, and to suddenly feel like my body was making decisions for me like it used to has been quite scary. So I went to get myself some help. We've got an amazing, amazing charity called Cruise. It's worldwide. It just varies from county to county depending on what they offer. And here Cruise Bereavement offers either a drop-in session on a Friday morning, or you can have 6 sessions with a support worker to talk through your grief and issues and so forth. You can't do both at once. So initially I joined and went to a few group sessions on a Friday, which was so helpful. Just being with other people that get it, that know where you're coming from, was just really, really beneficial. And then I got accepted for the one-to-one support, So I've now stopped doing the Friday session and I'm having one-to-one support. I also importantly went to the doctor, and although she was completely understanding why I stopped sertraline, could also equally understand why I did need some kind of antidepressant in my body. So we tried mirtazapine. Oh my god. Now, I've not been able to sleep. It's been really bad. I've been getting through on like sometimes as little as 3 hours sleep a night. I'm having awful nightmares. I'm having situations where you wake up and you remember that the person you love has gone. Oh my god, it's such an awful feeling. First thing in the morning, it's just like this sinking feeling of just like, I can't do another day. And that's actually stopped me going to sleep because I know that I've got to wake up again, and it's just spiralled like that. So the thing with mirtazapine is it does make you drowsy. Now, as an ex-addict, as an addict in recovery, as an alcoholic in recovery, I don't like sedation. But on this incident, because it's actually not, it's not what do you call it? It doesn't like change your mood and things like that. It's a depressant with a side effect of drowsiness, basically. So we decided it might actually help to get me some sleep, to give it a go. Well, if sleeping 16 hours a night is success, then let's just say I succeeded. Oh my god, I'm not kidding. The first 2 weeks of that drug are awful. You're always warned when you start a new antidepressant that it can make your symptoms worse at first. This one, oh yes, it did. I just felt awful. Poor Chris was trying to wake me up in the morning. I was having a go at him. I just felt so drowsy and groggy. And it was like the old feeling when I was drinking, where I'd wake up and be disorientated and I'd remember I'd done something awful, or all of that. It was just awful. But I stuck with it because I recognised I did need something. And actually, over the last kind of 4 days, the tiredness has got less. As I say, I'm just coming up to 3 weeks on it. And the tiredness is less. And actually, my mood had started to lift a little bit, but it's gone back down again. So whether that is because I've got used to the meds now, and so I need to go up a little more, because actually I'm only on 15 milligrams, and apparently 30 milligrams and above is therapeutic. So that's the next step, really, is to just go up a little bit in the medication. I'm skipping over a lot of this quite quickly because I want to give you a synopsis of everything. I do plan to make a blog post and make some videos on the process of coming off sertraline and the process of going on mirtazapine, because I think there's a lot to be said there that might be quite helpful, but just want to talk about it quickly for now. My biggest concern right now is the personality disorder stuff. Now, it's ironic, they've only recently started talking about this, and yet now it's being a problem. And it's bizarre because I've been in recovery since 2010. I came out of my therapeutic community, where you go to have help with personality disorders, in 2010, and actually I thought a lot of it was due to my gender dysphoria, and that a lot of it, just wasn't really there anymore. But now in grieving, I'm seeing loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of the traits that I had in excess in terms of the personality disorder. Yes, I know that compulsivity and impulsivity is apparent in everybody, but in people with personality disorder, as me, it is just to the extreme, really to the extreme. And in all honesty, that's how I've been. I am reacting like that. I'm up and down like a yo-yo. There's just so much stuff that, again, I want to do a separate video about this and go into it a lot more. But just for now to say, I can see personality behaviour happening with me now that hasn't been happening for years, and that's quite scary. So I'm getting help for that as well. I'm talking to the doctor currently, trying to get myself some CBT or some DBT, because that is what's helped before, and I think what will help again. So I'm doing all the right things, and this is what you have to do when you're grieving in these early days. It's just getting support wherever you can, really. Whatever works for you, whatever you need support with, grab it. There are lots of charities out there. There's lots of places you can get support and help from. I've also got myself some books, which I'm also going to talk to you about, which are kind of grief books and DBT books, CBT books, just to try and help right now, because I've worked so hard to build my life in recovery and I don't want to lose it. So I'm working really hard right now to try and unpick a lot of this. So in terms of where I am right now, I guess that's exactly what I've just said. I'm trying to make sense of it all. I can see that actually grief for Mum it's just been made worse by everything else around it. I think mum's grief, mum's dying has brought up the fact that I never grieved for my dad when he died. I was only 13. We've only got a very small family, really, so there's like I'm an orphan now. I've got no mum and dad, and that's a huge impact. I'm really only young in that I've only just transitioned and found my life, and it's just like grief for that as well, that I'm not a 5-year-old that's just lost his parents. I feel like I'm an 8-year-old that's just lost his parents, because I've only been in recovery, only living as me, Finn, the man, for the last kind of 8 years. So it's brought up so much grief for loads of things. Even my mental health, because this has made me realise, I always realise this, but now more than ever I really realise that this is how it's always going to be. My mental health is always going to be fragile. It's just the way it is. And anything that happens is going to affect me much more than anyone else who hasn't got mental health problems. And I thought I'd accepted all of that, but this time around, a lot of what's been causing me issues is my inability to accept just how much it's knocked me for 6. And Chris has been amazing and really noticed this and pointed it out to me, and he's right. You know, and I'm freaking out because I'm comparing myself to how I was 10 years ago, as needy and codependent, and superimposing that on now, and thinking that I'm moving in with Chris when I'm not earning enough money, and I'm going to be self-sufficient, and I'm this big mess. Oh my God, my poor head. All of this is going on at the same time. And so yes, it really is a big ball of grieving mess that I need some help to unpick. And breathe. What I'm doing at the moment is reminding myself of all the good things. It's amazing that Mum saw me starting my life. It's amazing that I've got this incredible man who is willing to support me and just bear with me through all of this. It's amazing that I can now move in with my boyfriend and make this incredible new life together. There is so many good things at the moment to be thankful for, and I'm holding on to those. And more importantly, I'm holding on to the fact that although all this stuff's coming up for me, I'm doing the right thing and I'm managing it, and I'm not picking up a drink or a drug and all of that, you know. And Chris reminded me of this last week, that I've got to stop saying that I wish I could be better, I wish I could do this, and actually realise I'm succeeding every single day by the things I'm not doing, by not picking up a drink, by not self-harming, by not... all of these things that I could act on, and I'm not. You know, so I'm succeeding every day. All of these things that I'm making sense of, I would like to share with you in more detailed videos and written posts, and that will be happening. So in terms of what's next for us, as in terms of the business, you know, I'm doing the best I can on a daily basis right now. It is difficult for me to have to let go of all the plans I had. I hope to be working much harder on my business by now, and the consistency, and have regular videos and things to you. But it is what it is right now. And you know what? It's actually helping me to realise I made the right choice in changing career paths. Because as hard as it is not being able to do all the things for my business that I'd like to be doing right now, I don't have the same sense of failure. When I used to be doing volunteer work with trying to get back into paid work, I would have a mental health crisis and have to start all over again. And that kept happening. And since realising that I was beating myself with a stick in trying to fit myself into a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job, and stopped that, it's taken a lot of pressure off. And actually, it's helpful because on really bad days, I can still do a bit. I can hide indoors from people. I don't even have to get washed and dressed. I can still do it. So I've not failed at my business. It's just slowed down. And I'm still doing lots of little things that in months to come, weeks to come, days to come even, will grow the business forward. So I made the right choice for me to go self-employed and to say, hands up, I can't fit into a 9 to 5 model, and that's okay. I can carve my own career, my own success, my own way that works with my mental health. So the one good thing that's come out of this is that acknowledgement that yes, I did the right thing. But it's still hard to have had these plans and not be able to do them right now. But I am doing the best I can. I'm actually writing more than I'm making videos, and that's because I don't have to look presentable to write. It's quite hard for me to get up, washed and dressed at the moment and string sentences together, so you're quite blessed today. So if you aren't following my website, please do. I'll put a link above. I'm also reinstating our newsletter, but rather than weekly, it's going to be fortnightly. It'll be fortnightly on a Friday, and my newsletter will contain a synopsis of everything that's going on, blog posts, videos, thoughts, pictures, all of the above. So if you want to be kept up to date as well as on here, I'll put a link below to sign up for the newsletter, which links to my blog, if that makes sense. The Friday for instalments, I'm just trying to get to you when I can. So not always on a Friday at the moment, but the plan is aiming by the end of this month to have you up to date, so that everything is running to date, and then to try and restart the Tuesday topics, so you're getting more videos. But it really is a work in progress right now, and as I say, I'm just doing the best I can. But please do come and follow me on my social media. All the links are below, so you can find me somewhere. I will be updating on a daily basis as to how I'm doing and whatever, but it won't always be consistently, so trying to find me on different places is probably the way forward if you're trying to keep up with where I am. More than anything with this video, I just wanted to catch you all up in real time to say I'm alright, I'm in good hands by myself and by others, and everything's in place. And things will get better. Everything passes. This too shall pass. And I just wanted to say how grateful I am. I think I've said most of my thank yous now on the Finstalments, but thank you everybody who sent cards. I have now moved in officially with Christopher. So if you do have my address, you'll need to update that. If you'd like my new address, do send me a message. It's best if you pop a comment in the below or pop over to my website and direct message me there. Always happy to hear from anyone anyway, and I can give you my new address if you'd like it. But yes, thank you everybody for your undying patience with me at this time. It's hard, it feels risky at the moment to like take some time out. I'm scared I'm going to lose everybody because I'm in a super vulnerable place right now where I just feel like everyone's going to abandon me at any given moment, and that's just abandonment issues. But I know that people that really genuinely care are there, because my God, so many people have been there. I've been inundated and I'm so grateful for that. And you are what keep me putting one foot in front of the other every day. And I'm really, really grateful for that. So thank you everybody. I will see you soon for another update. Take care of yourselves.